What if Cardi B's new man was never really hers? What if the same woman who came between her and Offset wasn't there by accident, but part of something planned all along? Because now, fans are saying the one man Cardi thought was different might have been playing a game from the very beginning. And once the truth started to unfold, it didn't just point back to Offset, it pulled Cardi's entire love life into question. Offset's past drama might have been old news, but what fans just uncovered changes everything. It turns out the woman Offset was rumored to be involved with, someone named Pri, wasn't just a random person. She's actually close friends with Cardi B's new man, Stefon Diggs. And the way they're all connected, it's not only complicated, it's the kind of twist that has fans asking the same question again and again. Was Cardi B caught in a setup from the start? Because between mysterious Instagram activity, suspicious timelines, and a love triangle nobody saw coming, this story might go deeper than anyone imagined. And what happens next could completely change how fans see Cardi B forever. Offset and Cardi B's relationship has never been clean. From public arguments to quiet reconciliations, they've been through more drama than most celebrity couples. But when the rumors of infidelity surfaced again, this time involving a woman named Pri, something felt different. Because Pri wasn't just another name in Offset's messages. She wasn't just a fling. She was known, familiar, and too comfortable with the spotlight to seem innocent. Soon, screenshots began circulating online showing Offset and Pri allegedly messaging, video calling, and even meeting in private. It wasn't just a rumor. It became a full-blown scandal. And Cardi B, she didn't stay silent. Her posts were sharp, her tone confident, and her message clear. If Offset wanted to risk it all again, she wasn't going to protect him this time. Fans thought this might finally be the end of their long, complicated history. But then something unexpected happened. Instead of Pri fading from the spotlight after the controversy, she became even more visible. She began sharing cryptic messages, subtle flexes, and hints that she knew more than she was letting on. That's when people started noticing something unusual. Pri had ties to someone else in Cardi's circle. Not just any random connection, but someone Cardi was now seen publicly spending time with. A name that would turn the entire story upside down. Just when the internet was ready to move on, Pri dropped a post that made everyone pause. On her Instagram story, she shared a photo of herself all dressed up, captioned with 6 simple words, "A piece of my heart, at Stefon Diggs." And Stefon, he didn't ignore it. He reposted it, not in denial, not defensively, but with a caption of his own. "Forever and ever, Presky." Presky, not just Pri, a nickname, a term of closeness, the kind that implies history. Suddenly, fans began connecting the dots. Offset's rumored link wasn't just some influencer. She was best friends with Stefon Diggs, and Stefon just so happened to be Cardi B's rumored new man. That changed everything. Because now it didn't look like Pri was just some random person Offset came across. It looked like she might have been part of something bigger, connected to someone already close to Cardi, someone with unusual access to both sides of the story.
Once fans realized Stefon Diggs was connected to Pri, the theories exploded. Some people think this wasn't just coincidence. They believe it might have been orchestrated from the very beginning. The story goes like this. Stefon had reportedly been close to Offset for years. They moved in the same social circles, sports, music, events, mutual friends. Offset even used to call Stefon one of his favorite players. So imagine this. While Offset was still with Cardi, Stefon allegedly sends his close friend Pri to hang around. At first, nobody thought much of it until Offset crossed a line. Cardi finds out, tension builds, the marriage starts to crumble. And who's right there to comfort her through it all? Stefon. It's like chess, not checkers. Offset loses the queen and Stefon makes his move. Now, none of this is confirmed, but the timing has fans talking. The moment Cardi's heart was broken, Stefon appeared as the good guy, the supportive friend, the man who understood what she was going through. But here's where it gets even messier. Fans noticed Cardi had already been liking Stefon's post before she and Offset officially separated. Was it harmless engagement, or was there more happening behind the scenes? Because when you line up the timelines, the posts, and the connections, it starts to look less like coincidence and more like calculation. One fan wrote, "He didn't fall for her, he planned it. Offset got outplayed, but Cardi might have been caught in something bigger." And the strangest part? Nobody knows who was really pulling the strings. At first, it seemed like Cardi was taking her power back. She stopped defending Offset, moved on publicly, and her confidence came back. She was shining again. And right beside that glow, Stefon Diggs. Fans spotted Cardi at NFL games, reposting clips that mentioned him, and soon whispers online turned into full-blown headlines like, "Cardi's moved on to a baller." But now, that same man is being linked to the same woman who reportedly contributed to her heartbreak. So what really happened here? Some believe Cardi wasn't just falling in love, she was sending a message, a rebound move meant to remind Offset of what he lost and prove she was done hurting. But if that was her plan, it might have backfired. Because how do you win the breakup when your new man might have been involved in the mess from the start? It's the ultimate twist. It's giving plot flip. It's giving she thought she was in control, but the game ran deeper. And if that wasn't complicated enough, fans started speculating something even more emotional. What if Cardi actually caught real feelings during her so-called comeback? What if it started as payback, but turned into something genuine with someone who might not have been genuine himself? One fan summed it up perfectly. "This isn't revenge, it's a trap with nice lighting." Because if the whole thing began out of spite, how do you trust it once it starts to feel real?
The internet didn't hold back. The moment Stefon Diggs and Pre's connection went viral, fans flooded TikTok, Twitter, and Reddit, and the reactions were relentless. People weren't just gossiping, they were dissecting Cardi's entire love life like it was a mystery case. One viral post said, "Not Cardi dating the guy who's besties with the woman that messed up her marriage? Girl, this wasn't the move." At first, it looked like Cardi was taking control. Offset made mistakes, she walked away, and started seeing someone who seemed richer, smoother, and more composed. She was focused, confident, and back in her glow era. But now fans are asking a question that changes everything. What if she was never really the one in control? Because let's think about it. Offset's rumored link just happens to be best friends with the man Cardi starts dating. That's not just coincidence. That's suspiciously strategic. Some fans think Stefon played her. Others believe Offset let it happen and watched from the sidelines. One theory that's been spreading says Offset knew exactly what Stefon was doing, he knew Pre was connected, and he let Cardi fall for it just to laugh later. It's a chilling thought. Losing your partner, then watching her end up with your friend who's still connected to the same woman who caused a fallout? It's the ultimate mind game. Another fan summed it up like this: Offset didn't lose, he moved her like a piece on his board. Now she's stuck in his game. And Stefon, he hasn't denied a thing. He reposted Pre's story, liked posts about Cardi, and stayed active, but quiet. The kind of silence that makes people suspicious. Now fans are wondering if Cardi was just a move in a rivalry between two men trying to outdo each other. One viral comment read, "She really thought she was getting revenge, but now it looks like she got played." TikTok clips started flooding timelines. Edits showing Stefon and Offset at events together, paired with captions like, "Plotting while Cardi thinks she's healing." And it didn't stop there. Fans dug deeper and found old screenshots showing Pre and Stefon liking each other's posts while Cardi was still married. That's when the joke stopped and disappointment took over. One fan page comment captured the mood perfectly. Cardi's got too much going for her to get mixed up in this. Offset was the warning sign. Stefon might be the whole circus. And Cardi's silence only made things worse. No tweets, no statements, no cryptic lyrics, just quiet. And that quiet, it gave fans time to dig even deeper. What they're uncovering next might be even more shocking than anyone expected. It's one thing to have messy connections, but when fans started laying out the timeline, that's when things turned suspicious. Because the dates don't lie, and the way everything lined up looked less like coincidence and more like coordination. Here's how it unfolded. First, Offset's rumored scandal with Pre hit the internet. Messages leaked, shady texts surfaced, and fans went wild. That alone was enough to push Cardi to walk away. And she did. Then, just weeks later, Pre posted that now famous Instagram story tagging Stefon Diggs, calling him a piece of my heart. And Stefon? He He reposted it like nothing happened, like he wasn't tossing gasoline on a heartbreak that was still fresh. Not long after, Cardi and Stefon started showing up together, not officially, not with a hard launch, but enough whispers, photos, and clues to confirm something was happening. All this in the same window when Pri was still being linked to both Offset and Stefon. It was too quick, too close, too convenient. One fan even lined the events up side by side and captioned it, "You can't tell me this wasn't planned." Everyone had a role except Cardi, who got played. And the strangest part, Offset still follows Pri, Stefon still follows Pri. None of them have cut contact. So either they're all still close or they were never really on opposite sides to begin with. That's what has fans suspicious. Because if Pri never left the circle and neither Offset nor Stefon distanced themselves, did Cardi walk into the situation by accident or was she led there? For someone who's never been afraid to speak her mind, Cardi's silence stands out. No tweets, no rants, no cryptic posts, nothing. And that silence is starting to feel loud. This is Cardi, after all, the same woman who's never shied away from clapping back or setting the record straight. So why now, when everyone's talking, is she staying quiet? Some think she's embarrassed, realizing she might have stepped into a setup while trying to prove a point. Others think she's heartbroken, processing everything privately. But there's another theory, and it's the one fans are starting to believe most. What if Cardi isn't quiet because she's defeated, but because she's waiting? Waiting for the right moment, waiting to collect every detail, waiting for the noise to build so she can tell her side her way. Because silence in her case might not mean surrender, it might mean strategy. One fan put it perfectly. Don't forget, this is the same woman who dropped "Be careful" after her heartbreak. When she goes quiet, she's planning. So maybe she's not spiraling at all. Maybe she's watching, listening, and waiting to flip the script once again. Just like she always does. So, here we are. Offset's betrayal, Stefon Diggs' secret connection, Pri at the center of it all, and Cardi B, caught in a triangle she might have never seen coming. At first, it looked like a messy rebound. Then it looked like payback. But now, it's starting to look like a setup. Whether Stefon was playing strategy, Offset was playing mind games, or Pri was pulling the strings, Cardi's entire love story just got exposed in ways nobody expected. But here's the truth. In a world where attention equals power and loyalty is negotiable, even love comes with fine print. Cardi might have thought she was finding peace, but what she walked into was far more complex. A tangled, calculated game where everyone seemed to know the plan except her. And now, fans aren't just curious about what went wrong. They're watching closely to see what she does next. Because if Cardi's silence is really the calm before the storm, when she finally speaks, everyone better be ready.